Hey, this is a Short John Red. Sorry, this is literally the first video where I'm recording with my voice, so yeah, forgive me. So, anyways, I'm a huge fan of the Black Tabby Games game Slay the Princess, and just today the highly anticipated Pristine cut just came out, and I just finished downloading, so I'm gonna do a commentary playthrough. I don't know what you want to call it, but like previously I put on some no commentary videos for their other game, Scarlet Hollow, which you can find on my channel. Well, but yeah, this one will have commentary, and it's a black screen because I haven't started the game up. I wanna, let's all react to it. Like, okay, I'm starting the game up now. I just don't know if it's gonna be like a new intro or if it's just gonna be the same. So yeah, I've been waiting a really long time for this. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Like I am so excited. Just an overview, among the new content this game includes, wow, this game's taking a while to start up, is revamped versions of the Den, Apotheosis, and Fury, which are with some of the alternate routes, and as well as new alternate routes for the Damsel, Prisoner, and Spectre. It'll make sense once we're, actually in the game, and I'm sorry, I have no idea why this game isn't starting. Hello, game? I'm sorry, I can't tell how long this video is going. Oh! Wait, okay, here we go. Now, finally! Okay, English, because I speak English. Okay, Black Tabby Games. And Serenity Forge. They're the publishers for Doki Doki Literature Club. I already know this, so, pause right now and read this, but I'm gonna keep going. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions, there are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Oh, that's a little disappointing. They just added the pristine cut onto the thing. Well, it's fine. Anyways, so, in case you don't know how this game works, sorry, I just had to check. Anyways, basically, you go through 5 different routes and then you reach an ending. Oh, I also forgot, they also had a new ending. I'm gonna try to get that new ending, but if I can't, I'll get it later. And since I'm only allowed to do 5, I'm gonna start out with the revamped Den, Apotheosis, and then the new routes for the Damsel, Prisoner, and Spectre. And then I'll do the Fury on a separate route. Anyways. New game, the hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Now, I already know a lot of this, so I'm not gonna... So, aside from, reading out the answers, I'm not gonna say much, but once we actually get to the new stuff, I will start commenting. Okay, I already know a lot of this, but, just to... for the people who've never heard this game before, or for people who are new, the end of the world? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in a basement end the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
I don't know. Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up?
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Can't someone else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Forget it, I'm not doing this.
Are you serious? No, you have to do
Sorry
it.
about that. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Forgive me if I'm not making any kind of jokes. I've kind of done this song and dance before. Like, I know this game like the back of my hand, more or less, but again, there is new stuff here, and we just haven't gotten to that. Anyways, do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Can you at least tell me what my prize is going to be for doing a good job? Sorry, I don't know why I can't read.
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Look, there's this weird delay. I don't know what's with that. Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say she is, then maybe I'll slay her. But I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, I have a lot of save files, I know. I'm a bit of a mess. Okay, these are going to be reserved for the new Pristine cut content. Anyways, like I said, the first route I'm going to do is the den. Okay. And to get to that, I need to go to the beast. So, enter without the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
I do love Nicole Goodman's
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Yeah, I've heard. Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Hold on a moment. Let's talk a bit first.
Okay.
Again, I've already kind of been through a lot of this, but still. Also, this is probably a bug, but I noticed there's like this. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but there's like this weird delay when, Yeah. Anyways, what's your name?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
So, Princess is your name.
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
Sorry, I was just checking something. If If I'm the first person you see in a while, what have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Sorry if I'm not incorporating a lot of commentary. Like I said, I already seen a lot of this, but I am going to say this. Water is arguably way more... No, it's definitely more important than food. Like a human body can actually survive for quite a while without food, but without water, you'll last maybe 3 days at most. At least, I think that's the statistics. Anyways, what are you going to do if I let you out of here?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter.
Yeah, that's really good voice acting.
It's not like you'd believe me.
And that's one of the best things about... Okay, anyways. I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world, and since I'm trying to get the beast route, and I'm starting to think that's true. There's something about you that doesn't feel right.
Would everything feel right about you if you were locked away in a hole by yourself for as long as you can remember?
I love how angry she looks. Kind of reminds me of
How long has she been down here?
She's a character from their other game,
So,
Scarlet Hollow.
Did they tell you why I'm supposed to be so dangerous?
No, but I'm sure they have their reasons for keeping that information secret from me.
I appreciate the vote of confidence.
Yeah, well,
What if they're bad
enjoy it
reasons,
now,
though?
narrator.
If they had good reasons for
you're not
thinking I
gonna
was
like what
dangerous, wouldn't
comes
they have
next.
shared them with you? I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to leave. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about. Do you really think I can even end the world? Why would I even want to? We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
I really hate to do this. I really genuinely hate to do this, but I need to see the new routes, so I'm sorry, but I can't trust you. This doesn't add up, and it isn't worth the risk to take your word over the potential fate of the world.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
You'll regret this. I promise you. But go ahead, run along and get whatever you're planning to get. But you'd better hope that I don't slip these chains before you make it back
Sorry
down
if there's
here.
a dog barking
Slip
in the
these
background.
chains?
One of my dogs.
She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall.
I don't know why this is grayed
And
out.
she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
Hello?
Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Let's finish
Your
this.
eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she?
Okay, let's close the door behind us since, if we don't, we'll get locked into the witch route.
You close the door behind
There.
you.
Now we're
Almost
locked into the
magically,
beast
its
route.
locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Let's investigate the arm.
You step forward to investigate the severed limb. A trail of blood leads from its jagged stump into a dark corner of the basement.
Huh.
And then you hear the quiet patter of feet against the floor, and there's suddenly a weight on your shoulders. The princess tears into you.
Oh yeah, should I put a content warning?
Her teeth and claws are unnaturally sharp, ripping into your shoulders,
That's
digging
fine.
into your throat.
It's not
You
the
fall
worst
to the
thing if I
ground,
get age
the princess
restricted.
eagerly tearing at your flesh. Her ferocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers lose their grip on the blade. It slips from your hand, your one last means of defense, lying useless beside you in a pool of your cooling blood. I suppose you just lacked the will to fight back.
That's rude.
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Beast.
You're on a path in the woods.
Now, I will skip some lines of dialogue since, we've already heard them. Like, what should I say? Wait, hasn't this... Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
You know what? How about... I'll do this explore option next time. Let's just proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying
You'll
her.
see why in the next video.
Don't believe a word she says. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell. That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Yeah, I knew this was gonna be a long video. Let's proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin
Oh
is
yeah,
ruinous
that's right.
and dilapidated.
They changed
It
the
feels like
cabin
no one has
interior.
lived here for a long time. Wind
can't remember what
rushing
it
in
used to
through
look
cracks
like.
and holes in the wooden walls.
I just know this is different.
The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Always termite eaten?
The blade is your implement.
Or did they
You'll
just
need it
change
if you
the
want to do
cabin
this right.
interior to better reflect that? Anyways, I'm gonna... Sorry, got some... I don't know if you heard that, but I got like a notification. What's it about? Nothing important. Yeah, I'm gonna turn off my phone just in case that happens again. Anyways, you didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. What a strange thing to lie about. Maybe he doesn't see it. Much like he hasn't seen what's already happened.
Why would you lie about that? What's the point?
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done?
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door.
Sorry, that was
It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
See, there was
You
that delay
reach
again.
forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
What is going on
I hope
here?
you know how ridiculous you look right now.
It's probably a
But it
bug.
was there a second ago. And now it's gone.
It's like this black line here. Okay, now it's gone. I'm gonna take the blade, though I doubt it matters.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I swear, this looks like 2 tables. Yeah, there might be some... Yeah, there might... Wow, there are a lot of bugs here.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's
Any
left of
sounds
an
new,
old wooden
or-
staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece,
I'm sorry, I'm just...
though you'll have to be mindful
Like,
of holes.
I've played this game, like, plenty of times.
The air seeping up from below is
I'm just trying to
oddly
figure out what's
warm
new and
wet,
what's the same.
as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp
Okay,
earth
the
floor of
basement
a
is
starlit
the
pit.
same.
The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you
there
from
they
the
are.
darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Okay, I'm gonna do what the voice of the hunted tells us to.
You lunge to the side, but taking a direction on
one of the
instinct.
ways to get the
As you
den.
land, you're buffeted by a gust of air disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her.
Looks like some kind of hybrid between like a chicken and a
Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows.
large
But you still
black
feel
cat,
her gaze on you.
like a puma or a panther.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs. So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
What do you want?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants, just slay her. Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful. She's just a princess. Don't overthink it. She's clearly not.
But why? Why do you want to kill
Why
her?
does anything kill anything else? She needs to.
I didn't say I wanted to kill you.
It sounds like she wants to do something even worse. What she wants only matters if she wins, and you're not going to let that happen. She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive. It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
Survive. Yeah. Like I said, I already know
Barely
the song
moving
and
out of the
dance.
way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
Oh. I can't. I don't think I can keep this up.
You have to. We at least have to make an opening.
Okay, fine. Why do you want to eat me?
I don't question who I am or what I want. I simply do. To act is always better than to react. To do is always better than to watch.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you do well to listen to her. Less standing around asking questions, more doing exactly as I say. A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this.
Stay alive.
You're confused. Or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you, her titanic momentum skinning you along your side. It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast?
You get a better look.
You're bleeding now.
You instinctively touch your side,
Point.
testing her claim. It's wet and stings from the gentle touch of your fingertips. A costly mistake. We can't make it again. We will make it again unless something changes. We have to break the pattern. We need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
Our game is nearing its end.
Stop hiding and show yourself.
If you want to see me, you should get better at seeing.
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. She won't reveal herself unless she has to. She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of moving again makes your bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move.
Again.
Once again, you not avoid the full force of the impact, and once again you are too slow to come away unscathed. You're starting to get tired. You're making mistakes. This isn't working. We have to do something. We have to figure out a plan. Don't plan ahead. Act on the now. All that matters is that we stay alive. We're trying, but we can't keep this up much longer. We have to. We keep up or we die.
You're getting slow.
She seizes the opportunity, lunging once again from the darkness, fangs bared and claws flashing. She attacks over and over and over, and each time she leaves with a little piece of you. Too tired to think, but we have to think. We have to move. It's too late. Before you get the chance to react, she makes her last foray from the dark corners of the room, unhinging her dripping maw, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. You do your best to dive out of the way, and you partially succeed.
Oh boy.
Partially?
I know what's coming next.
Yes, the princess fails to swallow you whole. She only swallows your lower body. That's just as bad. That's worse, even. It's death either way. At least this will be a faster end. You look down to see that the dirt between you is strewn with your intestines, trailing all the way up and disappearing behind her blood-stained teeth. Your legs are nowhere to be seen. You start to go into shock.
No, this might be not a long video, but...
The princess, bloody saliva dripping from her lips,
hopefully the next
idly gnaws on what's left of you
videos
as you
won't be as
rapidly
long.
fade away.
Or they will be longer, I don't know.
I didn't mean to do that. I still need to devour you. And it doesn't count if you're dead.
We're not dead, we're... But you don't have time to protest her premature
here we
observation
go.
of your death, because everything goes dark, and you die.
The den. Okay, now here we go. Now we're into the new content.
You're on a path in the That didn't work. We're going in with a plan this time. We're not getting stuck in another loop, just acting on instinct. We're stuck in a big enough loop as it is. Instinct was keeping us alive.
Oh, I forgot.
Until it wasn't. So what are we supposed to do? Great, so you've been here before. That doesn't bode
forgot
well.
this-
You're
that
not
this
supposed
led
to
to the
have
voice
been
of the
here before.
skeptic.
This is supposed to be one and done. So you know more than you're letting on. Yeah,
we're
what
gonna
he
see
said.
him pretty soon.
Of course I do, but believe me, it's in your best interests. The more you know about the princess, the more difficult your task will be. Why is that? Having me explain why would defeat the whole purpose. There are simply some things I'm not allowed to tell you. It's a hard rule. And whose rule is it? Who's telling you to boss us around? We've died twice already, and if you want us to stay alive this time, it's in your best interests to give us an edge. It's my rule, and this conversation is over.
Okay, what's the plan?
She spent as much time as she could in the shadows. So we're gonna draw her out. But she's fast, and she's
I
clever.
mean, so far it's still the same,
We're clever
but
too. So
imagine
this time
things
we're not
will
going to
be
let her
different
cut
once
off
we
our
actually
escape.
get to the
We're going to lead
princess.
her to the stairs ourselves. It'll be a lot easier to deal with her once we can actually see what she is.
oh yeah, last time she just got
But you
stuck
already
in the
know
cave.
what she is. She's a princess.
Wonder what she's gonna do this
right. A princess we couldn't see, and one that had big, sharp teeth too. How about you stick to describing things, and we'll stick to doing our job.
Yeah, just
Sharp
to your
teeth.
job. The path is different than it was before.
You're right. This is different, isn't it? I'm starting to lose track of things myself. Ground is ground. It doesn't matter what shape it takes. will adapt. If it looks different, that's because the situation has started to spiral out of everyone's control. So please, disavow yourself of the notion that you can just come back here and fix this place if you manage to make a mess before that line of thinking leaves you yet another world in ruin. Though, as evidenced by you dying twice, it's safe to assume the fates of the worlds you've left behind
I don't know if you can hear that, but
concern
there's
you
like
very much.
barking outside my room.
Consider this your last opportunity to make things right. For you and for the rest of existence. But especially for you. Clearly we're not getting anything out of him.
I want answers. What's going on here? What do you know that you're not telling me?
Like I said, I've told you as much as I can without putting you at a disadvantage. If anything, I've told you too much. You've already died by her hands twice. You shouldn't need much in the way of motivation.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it. No matter what happens next, it seems like all our answers are in the cabin. Let's see this through.
You make your way down to the cabin. Your fated confrontation awaits. You know what to do. Alright, we've been over the plan. Goad her out of the shadows. Make her show herself. And what if she doesn't want to be seen? We'll figure out a way to make it happen. And if that doesn't make her any easier to fight, it will. It's always easier to fight what you can see, no matter how big or toothy she might be. The interior is dark and overgrown. Vines and brush obscure so much of the place that, had you not seen the exterior, you might not have noticed this was a cabin at all. The only furniture of note, if you could call it that, is a knotted stump, a pristine blade embedded in its exposed rings. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right.
First for me. And sorry if I'm talking over the
damn mirror's
characters.
back, and of course he's not saying anything about it. Why is it following us? What are you talking about? There is no mirror. It's just the stump and a narrow tunnel that leads to the basement. He isn't tricking us. Can you feel the wind? It's telling us there's a hole in that wall. Our eyes deceive us. Then either way we need to investigate. Might as well get started.
Okay, I'm gonna save here. Huh, I noticed the text changed a bit. It's a lot fancier. Again, I don't know if taking the blade really makes much of a difference,
Yes,
but let's take
the steel
it.
claw. You pull the blade from the stump, gripping it tight. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Odds are we'll need it. Thanks for not putting us in a bad spot. You step forward, approaching the small hole that leads to the basement, hesitating before you enter the princess's lair. Haven't you been paying attention? We're not hesitating. This supposed hole is blocked by that old mirror. That mirror isn't part of this place. It's seeped through from somewhere else. It, if there even is an it, is a hallucination. Like you said, you've been here twice before. Your mind was bound to start playing tricks on you eventually. It went away after we reached out to it last time. Might as well try wiping it clean again. What's the harm?
The sorry, I don't mean
Reach
anything.
forward and wave your hand over the open hole leading
I
to
just
the
think it's
basement.
funny.
See? Nothing.
Like, not
Tricks of the
pronouncing
eye.
certain
No
letters.
one sense can be trusted on its own.
No offense to anyone who
You
speaks
step
that
forward
way.
into the darkness.
So far, it's still the same.
If there were once stairs leading into the basement, there is nothing left to attest to their existence now. There is only a long tunnel of packed earth, growing more narrow as you descend. It smells of mold and decay. The damp walls leave streaks of dirt along your body as you're forced to hunch, then finally squat down on all fours in order to continue. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. As you crawl forward on hands and knees, you're met only with the sounds of ambient earth. No voice slinks confidently up the stairs.
Again,
no entity threatens violence or pleads for safety.
Nothing new.
Stay quiet. Don't give her a sound.
I'm just gonna do what the hunted says.
You say nothing, maintaining the silence as you carefully make your way down into the basement. The basement is dark and cavernous, a gaping maw threatening to swallow you whole.
It's still the same.
There is no light here,
Where's the
save for what little
deviations?
starlight has managed to filter down the tunnel.
Where's the new content?
Though you can't see the vastness of the space, you can feel it. You're exposed.
Stay on your toes. We take a step into the shadows, and as soon as she moves, we jump back, make her follow. From there, we trap her in the tunnel, draw her out of the cabin, whatever it takes to get her out of her element. Then we're safe.
Step into the shadows to track. Staying quiet,
She
are
doesn't
we?
respond. I assume that means her answer is yes.
Step into the shadows and try to lure her out.
You step into the shadows and are enveloped in total darkness. Your heart pounds in your chest, ears pricked, eyes wide despite the inky blackness, waiting for any sign of movement.
That's right. Keep steady. Don't let your nerves get the better of you.
There, she's about to strike. With the near silence of a determined predator, the
Again,
princess
there's
erupts
no
from the
new
shadows.
content.
But you've already started your swift escape.
That's stage one. Now stay focused.
You dive into the tunnel and begin scrambling up towards the cabin. You hear her behind you, claws raking at the dirt, chains rattling, then snapping, breaths hot and heavy with the effort of the ascent.
Okay, there's.
But the sounds are coming slower now, the breaths pained and stuttering. You no longer sense frantic motion behind you in the tunnel. You risk a glance. She is a broad and sickly creature, her withered
not
and
this
emaciated
again.
flesh clinging to bones too large to fit in the narrow space. She managed to squirm her way into the tunnel in pursuit, but now she's stuck, incapable of either moving towards you or returning to the open darkness of the basement below. So that's what she's become. She wasn't like this when we started. Was she?
No, she wasn't.
Looking at her makes me feel sad.
This feels exactly the same as
Now
it
that we
was
can
before.
see her, she doesn't feel like much of a threat at all.
She paws
Oh!
futilely at the air between you, but her shoulders are pinned in the narrow confines of the opening. She has no hope of reaching you.
Okay, that's new.
And she realizes this. Her arm goes limp, flopping to the dirt floor of the tunnel. And her eyes fall from yours, defeated. Her eyes look up at yours, wide, pleading. Come back, you can imagine them saying. Don't leave me here. But you shouldn't listen to the sad eyes of a vanquished enemy. She wants nothing more than to change places with you. If you want us to ignore her, then why would you tell us any of that wide, pleasing eyes begging for
Okay,
mercy
there was
business
some
to
new
begin
stuff.
with? All it does is make us feel conflicted. I'm merely describing things as they are. It's not my fault that her eyes had something to say, even if that something was a ploy, which, if I might stress, I pointed out to you. What should we do about her anyway? Can she still end the world like this? She hurts. We
She
should help.
actually looks kind of cute.
Now
like
let's
that.
think for a second. Let's reevaluate. Should we help her? Well, I do feel bad looking at her.
Some
There's
new
no way to
dialogue.
get close without being in reach of those claws. We've come this far, but can we trust a creature that until a few short moments ago fully intended to eat us? What an excellent question with an equally excellent answer. No! You should not
Okay,
help
this
her.
is some new dialogue.
She's clearly just waiting for you to drop your guard. And beyond that, you do well to remember that she poses a threat to reality
I'm not gonna lie,
itself.
she kind of That face looks super adorable.
Already have a weapon, and she's as vulnerable as she's ever going to be. How about you use it?
How about no? Drop the blade and approach her.
The princess's eyes go wide as the blade
I want to see what happens.
tumbles from your hand. You're going to get yourself killed.
She's gonna pull us.
What are you doing?
She's gonna bite
We
us.
could
and pull
all
us
just
in.
turn around and be done. What's your game?
I want to see
You and
what
I
happens.
both know there's no game. He's made a bad choice.
Come on, show me
As you
something
draw
new.
near, she readies her claws, raising them to strike. Don't flinch. Show her our resolve.
Finally, then offer your hand.
You reach forward, offering the
Finally.
princess your hand. How ridiculous. She was about to kill you. Do you really think getting stuck in a tunnel for less than a minute has fundamentally changed her? Yes, she's a victim of her own nature, just like we are.
Yeah, just like we.
If all she wanted was to kill us, she'd have kept trying. But she's hesitating, isn't she?
Let's turn off autoplay. So
Yes, she is. Her eyes shift from faux ferocity to confusion to a gentle sadness. She lowers her claw and places it in your hand.
we're holding hands with her. Finally, it was just like there was just so much been there, done that going on, but now we finally got something new.
Do you think we can pull her out of there?
Oh, and she's trusting us.
We have to try. It's a bad death being stuck in place.
Yeah, that would be pretty miserable. Just being stuck here for the rest of your life, not being able to eat or drink, although she doesn't really need to do
What
either.
if it doesn't work? What if we can't trust her?
I can. Oh, if only the voice of the smitten were here.
We have to trust someone else eventually. It's either
love
him
this
or her.
music.
And I know you don't trust him.
I don't even trust the rest of you. But that doesn't mean we have to go around pulling bloodthirsty monsters out of perfectly good traps.
I'm sure the voice of the stubborn would have been pretty upset.
But we
too.
haven't seen what happens if we help her. Doesn't that mean it's worth exploring?
Yes, because we've never seen this before.
I can't argue with that. Alright, let's see what happens. Maybe we'll finally get some answers.
Even the skeptic is starting to come around to it.
You tug, but the princess remains stuck. What a shame that the bones of her massive form are too large to fit through the narrow tunnel.
Come on, we can do this.
Keep pulling. All he has are empty words. He can't undermine us if we don't listen.
Yeah, you have no power here, narrator. Let's do this.
You are all infuriating
Whoa.
to work with. But fine, you continue to pull on the princess's arm and she starts to budge. She pushes with her back legs, clawing at the earth, a burst of strength aiding your efforts. The dirt and stone start to crumble around her.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's the spirit. Keep going.
Let's keep doing
Yes,
it.
quickly, before the whole tunnel comes down on top of us.
Yes, wouldn't that be an interesting development? What if the very nature of this tunnel was such
Oh,
that
no.
you were incapable of leaving safely with the princess? How devious.
Oh, screw you!
Does it collapse? Yes, it does. As you pull the princess free,
Oh my
the
God.
tunnel around you does exactly what you thought it might do. It falls apart.
I mean, to be fair, that is a very narrator move right there, but... screw you, man.
Trapped. No, we have to get out. We have to get out.
Man, the hunted is panicking.
It's too late to scramble for freedom now, little voice. You didn't think just pulling her out of there would be consequence-free, did you? Well, the ceiling collapses. Heavy stones tumbling down on top of you and the princess, and I don't believe it.
Oh, what's
Let
going on?
me guess. Everything goes dark, and we die. No, Not yet.
Holy crap!
You open your eyes to see the princess, her body stretched over yours, her face wincing as she shields you from the heavy rocks and debris. There is space enough for you to move, at least for now. I'll be damned. So there's more to her after
She
all.
saved us. See, she's not a
The
monster.
pack is always stronger than the lone hunter. We save her, she saves us. She understands.
She does.
Well, we can't keep saving each other forever. Her arms are already starting to give out, and there's a whole mountain of earth on top of her, just waiting to bury you both. We can always dig, both of us. It beats suffocating to death down here in the dark. Then let's do it.
Yeah, let's dig to the earth together.
You and the princess dig through the loose earth of the collapsed tunnel together. How sweet. But it seems the harder you try to claw your way forward, the denser the path becomes. All of this effort, and for what? A chance to end the world. I hope you fail.
Oh, you're
His
gonna be
words
the
are
one
nothing.
to fail.
Pay attention to what you feel and see.
Man, this video's almost an hour long.
It doesn't matter if you ignore me, because I'm just telling you what's happening. And what's happening is that you and the princess are getting tired, and your mouths are full of dirt, and it's
Ew.
getting harder to breathe.
You didn't have to specify
Harder
that.
to breathe is still breathing. Well, either way, the two of you are miserable. I don't know. I feel like we're forming a bond with her. Can't be all that bad if we're bonding.
Yeah.
She's not capable of bonding. Need I remind you that as soon as she saw you, she tried to eat you? You are not friends, and as soon as you're out, you'll see just how seriously she values your life.
Sure.
If you were so sure we were going to fail, you wouldn't sound so desperate. You're just hot air.
Hot
There's
air.
nothing of substance to you at all, is there?
I mean, there's some truth to that
I
statement.
have plenty of substance. I have feelings and desires. Like my desire to save everyone in the world. I feel that very strongly.
No, you just want to save... actually, never mind. I was going to say he wants to save himself, but he doesn't do that. It makes sense once you get to the end of the game.
Do you smell it? Fresh air.
Fresh air. Why do I say these things? Claw your way to freedom.
With one final massive heave of her body,
Oh,
the
what's
princess
this
pushes her
dinosaur
way
thing
out
here?
of the tunnel, leaving you behind, the quickly collapsing space you once shared. Yours was an alliance of convenience, just as I predicted. She has left you to die, buried and alone. You are unbelievably petty.
Tell me about it.
Oh, my pettiness is nothing compared to yours. You were delighting in my suffering and the damnation of the entire world just moments ago. She hasn't left. She's coming back. Don't you hear her? No, she isn't. She's...
She's what?
How many times do you have to be wrong before you stop talking?
Oh, he's wrong about literally everything he's ever talked about.
The princess stares down at you from the opening. Before the tunnel can finish sealing itself, she cranes her elongated neck and gently plucks you from the earth.
See,
She carries you across the half-collapsed ruin that was a cabin, carefully setting you down by the door. If there were
Here
to
we
be
go.
a record, let it show that I tried. I really, really tried. But there won't be a record, will there?
afraid not. Open the door and step into the wilds.
You open the door, the two of you stepping out into the fresh air,
Oh, she
and
doesn't have
collapsing
wings.
together
Oh, yeah, there.
onto the
Yeah, she does.
dewy
They're right
grass
here.
of the outside.
Oh, and he's disappearing.
We're outside, and there's ground beneath our feet. I don't see any oblivion. Admit it. There never was an end of the world coming, was there?
He's gone, Skeptic. He does not reply.
Yeah, we got him there, didn't we? Don't think I've ever seen him stunned into silence before.
Do you have no idea what's going on?
Can't you feel the hole where he was? He's gone.
The hunch is the only one who gets
I
it.
see that. I'm not sure gone is good.
The princess rests her head closely. Her eyes stare into yours amid the untextured threads of a world unraveled. Are we free, they ask? I'm cold. I don't want to be cold. Oh no. I feel so bad. I mean, I know what's gonna happen to her, so it's not so bad, but you don't get the opportunity to respond. Something has taken her away and has left someone else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go?
The lie
Should
and the
we
mouse.
try and find
Form
her?
an unlikely alliance. But I just got an achievement.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Echo does some notification. I'll take care of that in a bit. Anyways, I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we even go about looking for her.
If there's even a her to find anymore.
Wow,
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
you know what? I think I'm gonna stop here for now, but I'll continue on the next video. Like, this is... Like, the recording says it's been an hour, so I think this is a good stopping point. But don't worry, we'll get back to it. So, yeah, I don't know how to do an outro, so, bye.